favorite Sith, Swolian, Darth Swolverine here, back at it with another stream. Prepared to talk about, well, not the latest superhero film released because that's garbage, but the previous superhero film released, The Batman, the one that has better ratings than Morbius. Here with me, you should, you good. With me, my boy Dion here.
Yo.
We're gonna go over our thoughts on the Batman, have a little review. We might have someone else joining in a bit, not entirely sure, but for the most part, it's gonna be me and my boy here, rehashing the story and plot from the Batman and our thoughts. Essentially, we're gonna try our best to go in chronological order though, but we might bounce around a little bit, just a little bit. So just a heads up. But without further ado, the Batman. So, opening thoughts. Well, opening thoughts. First thoughts when it comes to the opening scene of the movie. How are we feeling about that?
I was pretty intrigued on how it started, and I was watching it with somebody, and automatically just looking at how the beginning happened. It was different than any type of superhero movie that I've seen, right? And closest to that, I think, I will probably say, like, back then in Superman Returns, when they had to just catch him up a bit, right? But it's a setting, and it's like it makes you deep, it makes you feel something about, oh, why he's doing this, or what's this, and he's telling you what he's been doing all these years.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just shows title. No action, no nothing. It's just a suspense get up. I love that. It was very different. And I was like, I applaud Matt Reeves for doing something different like that. Then, I just see Batman probably just dropping in and probably fighting some thugs. Literally on the first scene before the, the Batman main title comes on.
Right.
Yeah, I think it was pretty different. The music choices in the opening parts was very beautiful.
Oh, facts. Sure. That was like the first scene of course, Riddler and his weird breathing kink aside. Like the initial part where it's just like the intro to the movie, Batman talking about what he's been up to all these years, like you said, and it just felt like I was reading a comic book, to be quite honest, because you literally see Gotham and all of its nasty glory, and the whole time you see people just walking amongst the street, cluttered, raining heavy. And my favorite line that I probably remember is 2 years of endless nights has turned me to a nocturnal animal, and you just see dude with the eyeliner. I was like,
man.
Oh gosh.
The way how he was describing his city was it's like the narration gave everything about this story better. It just wasn't a movie.
Right.
You could tell it was a story. And that's something as like I don't, you can speak for yourself, but people like me, you, our other bros who's really deep into this comic shit, to see for movies, we are deep in just not watching movies. We want to see a story, and not just a story, an accurate story at that. Something that we all could relate to. Something be like, oh shit, yeah, that's actually that. You know what I'm saying? That's parallel. That's canon. You know what I'm saying? We have to say all these shits, but then when we look at it and it's just actually just, the same thing, or you don't give it your passion. This was passion. This was passion.
That ish means something to me.
Yo, and I can't remember fully what else happened in the intro because it was a long while when I seen that. I seen it on a Thursday. You seen it when, on a Sunday, right?
I saw it on a Saturday, and it was still a packed house at that time.
Yo, yeah, man. Saturday shows, I think they way better than Friday shows. I feel like that's when everybody are able to go out, honestly. Friday should
Like,
be like everybody's last day of work and shit. Niggas don't want to go after work unless you just that way to, party.
nah, not at all. Cause I mess like as soon as it started after that first scene, and then you see the city and Batman's narrating, bro. Like
Yeah.
just the fact that he was talking about I can't be everywhere at once, but people think I'm in the shadows, but the truth is I am the shadows. I was like, oh man,
It's
that's
like the things he say to himself in comics, you're actually hearing it on the screen. And that's
facts.
something I wished for Ben Affleck to add. I don't give a fuck if he was teaming up. I wish I got to hear some of his deepest thoughts because Batman thinks a lot. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't go without a day without really thinking. Even when you could see that, you could think that he's not thinking, but he's always thinking. So I always wanted to be deep into his head and always thoughts like that instead of just hearing like Christian Bale just like say what was ever on his mind. You know. But to hear like,
Right.
look, man, 2 years of, you know, repeated cycles of hell or some shit like that, just talking about how he needs, like, he is vengeance. That's how he starts off. Like, he has to give this city fear. Like, that's what
Exactly.
he truly believes at this time.
And like just the growth from all of that, like we'll go over how like he develops throughout the movie, but like the initial like beginning to like his end was just so well rounded. Like,
Yeah, he was beating the hell out them thugs. Like, he was actually
yeah.
really getting it into them thugs. And them thugs didn't even really do anything. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm not
They
on their side. Although they was doing some crime, they didn't do
right.
anything like, okay, like, what they was doing? I think they was jumping somebody,
Yeah, they're about
if I
to
could
have
remember.
some newbie jump beat someone up so he could be
Yeah,
a part of the gang, and it was like,
yeah.
all
We all
right.
knew he wasn't gonna do it. And let's just say shout out to our boy Tim Drake. We know that's Tim Drake from the Titans.
Yo, can we
Alright,
just
because
talk
I was
about
very shocked.
facts? Can we talk about the video they were watching before they initially followed dude off the train? Like, they were just watching the video of dude just walking to someone, stiffed him, and dude went like just folded in the grass.
Man, oh no. Not folded.
Like literally, just like I wouldn't even say folded. He elongated into the grass for real.
Thanks, Cash.
Like
Mm.
you got stretched the frag out. But the initial point when they all are sitting there and they hear a sound and they look in the shadows,
They
and then you
thought he
hear
was
the
there, right?
Yeah, they
They
thought he
thought
was
he was
there.
yeah, they thought he was there, but what was
Think
that
the worst
yeah,
was
that was
over?
fun. I hate to cut you off, but that was
Oh, no,
really
you
dope
straight.
how they thought he would be in one place, but he wasn't. I haven't really seen a lot of that. It's like they actually really showed a lot more stealth within this than just like, okay, gadgets being thrown on the floor and he is being stealthy, but he just takes people. I actually like to see the mind games where niggas be like, yo, where the fuck is he? Yo, check over there. Yo,
Right.
where's Benny? Benny! He actually toyed with everybody too, like dropped down. I think he threw something at a dude to turn around, and he turned around and grabbed him real quickly, and he was gone. And then his friend was like, yo, friend, because I don't know his name. And then he was gone. I felt like he was very more skilled stealth than anything else as of right now.
Oh yeah,
Did you agree?
definitely. And the thing I liked about it is I think someone told me that they didn't think this Batman was stealthy because people knew where he was coming from, but it was like my notion, like how Moon Knight likes to be visibly seen with his white suit. This Batman, even though he appeared in like the darkness, he used his footsteps to like let people know that he was there. Like he didn't have to use those footsteps to be like, all right, I'm over here, but he willingly was like, yeah, I'm walking towards you. This footsteps that you're hearing, it's me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's a
just
fear
so
tactic, mind games.
right. It is just so good because see him walk out the shadows, and then it's in the trailer. Everyone's seen it. Dude beats him down, breaks his arm, and beats him down further.
For real.
And the way this Batman can just take hits but the bounce back, it's like you're new to this, but yet you're still so epic and like Chad that you're just gonna take the hit and just keep going anyway.
He showed a lot of and like in that just that fight alone, he showed a lot of aggression, and I think a lot of people would have been like, well, the same type of aggression Ben Affleck kind of showed. I could probably agree, but I think the difference with that was like I don't think Ben Affleck showed trauma. You know, like after Justice League, it feels like okay, his main focus like to feel whole was to get Superman back or to like build this team so he could save the world. You know what I'm saying? And build off that hope. But I don't think he really had like he was still being more fucking aggressive even when he was still doing that. So it was like what type of aggressive like I don't want to say he should hold his tongue. He never holds his tongue unless he really has to. But you could tell he was still fighting like he was trying to kill himself. You know what I'm saying? Because that's his mentality. This one, he was fighting more because he was, like you said, he had the biggest fear. He doesn't fear of dying. It's not him, you know, but he is in fear of having others that he loves die. And for all that aggression that starts off with his family, you know, his parents. That's how his aggression really built because it's like at that time to him, he couldn't save them. You know, no matter how much he wanted to or even at that age, he couldn't save them. So that anger builded to where like why is like, okay, yo, this city gotta pay or gotta change in some way, which is actually how the fuck he is. I didn't lose my train of thought, but I was just gonna stop because I feel like I got to the point.
No, you straight, because like, as we go further throughout the movie, which I think after that scene is when we meet with
Gordon, right?
Right.
To that place.
Yeah, and they go over some detective work, which it is good to see, you know.
Matter of fact, I don't even think they showed that first. They actually showed him being killed first, right?
Yeah, they showed the individual in the question, or the individual being spoken of as the mayor, and he's watching a clip being played of him and his opponent. Riddler just Michael Myers his ways into the apartment somehow, some way.
Oh God.
And literally, like just straight up, you know, if you put the Halloween sound behind it, like he appeared, like Michael Myers appears behind people, like it's literally verbatim, like.
It was literally wild. Like,
yeah, I was sitting there. I saw the reflection of the glasses. I was like, "Hey, yo."
But
like,
but he was dead watching him for a minute. Like, you know how like silent you gotta be to stay there for a man to watch the news, a video, and then to find you in the corner. But he didn't even find him. He just walked behind him and stuck him with the hammer. Like it was, it was the most wicked thing I ever seen. I was like, yo, this man absolutely. But they also said too that they was gonna do a horror feeling, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
See
and
that? It was pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right.
Was definitely
Zeke,
scared, no cap.
That duct tape, bro. Like, aside from the duct tape, like the way dude's been breathing all the time prior to it, I'm surprised homie ain't hear him in his house for real. Looking back on it, but definitely that duct tape was like Riddler's favorite like thing to go ahead and do, cause it's like, all right, homie, he's out here, knock dude out, yada yada yada. All you hear is that duct tape just rip, and it's like, oh,
it's like this ripping that shit hard, like, it's like. Weird. Oh no, yeah, he has more aggression with that tape than anybody else.
Right, and then the heavy breathing, just literally whenever he's on live, just it's like, hey yo, you straight.
Very weird. And being in the theater, like you actually really hear it. It's like someone breathing in your ear, and it's like, oh my god, this is just me. Bag up.
The initial, like, the intro to the movie, literally all you hear is him breathing while he's recording. or not even recording, like
Mm-hmm.
him just watching what's going on, and it's like, dude, this is downright horrifying. Like I know Michael Myers does this, but this is just too much. And after we get the whole crime scene investigation, I like the fact that the GCPD still don't mess with Batman like that, because it's just like, it's really just like, hey yo, so we're investigating that. Who is this dude? Why is he here? And it's like
Word.
he's here to go ahead and help us with the crime, and it's like,
You gotta
so
look at it too. Like this guy is over here beating the shit out of thugs. Even like we trying to put away thugs. You over here putting them in the hospital and giving them to us so we could file more police reports of how they got this way. Like the policemen don't like them.
whole time.
But I mean, I hope. I mean, we're gonna get to that like in the end with his character. But I hope within time it changes. You know, but realistically, I don't think it really does. I think they always been on edge with him.
hmm
But
And
man,
plus, like, I think it was, yeah, in the comics, the GCPD often is corrupt, so it's like, officers will go, there are some good officers in there, and there's also just officers that are just, like, terrible because they're on a payroll by someone.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, dang, bro, you ain't really got to do all that for real. But, nah. I just like how, oh, your boy just got scoped.
Go.
Forgot this was a sniper up here. He's trying to go. Oh, I think I have to wait for him to look in a different direction. Yeah, that's how it's. Hopefully, I don't get shot out the sky. That'll be hilarious. But to get back on track with the movie, they have the little detective scene. They kind of get an understanding of the riddle. Batman takes the cipher, then proceeds to stare at a kid wholeheartedly, like for a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is a traumatized dude, so I can understand that. But like, if Batman was staring at me like that, and now I just lost my parents.
He was always giving them like, yeah, like, yo, dude, what's wrong with you? Give me that bill.
How'd you know? You stare at me the same way. Like,
Bro,
what
like,
you
what
mean?
the fuck you staring at me for? What I loved about it too is like, how you say how the GCPD,
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want him to be involved, but it was like no matter what, he had to be involved, even if Bruce did not want to be involved. You know?
Right.
I think that was something that was very different than even Dark Knight. Well, actually, I'll give Dark Knight
Seismic
this.
activity all over Arkham Island.
They
You okay?
actually made a lot of shit just like this movie where it was like, okay, certain things revolved around him, so he had to come and play, even if the Gotham City and police people didn't like it.
Yeah, because
Dark
the
Knight
letters
had to
were
come
all
out.
to him. Mm-hmm.
Right, you know? And just like Joker, all his games were to him. It wasn't to everybody else. He wanted the Dark Knight to come out and play. So that's something that I love too, where it's like he had to be forced into doing this and actually come out of his zone. I don't think he thought a lot more, but I think he thought a lot more cleverly than thinking more, right? I think he's going to excel more in thinking,
Right.
and just as far as like making game plans. And that's what I loved about this too, is like he's still young.
Yeah, he's still. I think he's a year or two Batman as well. So
Yeah, like only been in the game for 2 years, and it's like I don't expect him to know everything.
yeah, no.
That's why I
like,
loved how they exploited that. They exploited him not knowing much.
Are they ready?
How you
Mhm.
gonna do this?
Explosives yet?
I think so far, I don't know, maybe you could agree. I think maybe from what we've seen in a lot of Batman films, this probably could be number one villain. I feel like a lot of people would still say Heath.
yeah, probably for not only his betrayal, but of course for what happened too.
Yep. I don't know, but me, realistically, I think Riddler was more of the grab to me. To be like, yo, this guy is wicked. And then you love to see people that they don't use heavily
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like,
and make them into something epic like that, you know? Show them
hmm
they have potential and shit.
Haven't you noticed that someone's missing down there?
yeah, it was just like I'm just waiting for them to use other villains. Like I don't know if you could use Clayface. Bane has been used, but to the point where it's like more memeable than actually like, oh snap, Bane is someone I should fear rather than like make fun of.
Mm.
But yeah, not my favorite adaptation of the Riddler, but for what they were going for, I can rock with it.
How did you feel about Alfred?
Honestly, Andy Serkis is like my favorite actor since like King Kong 2005, so I liked his Alfred mostly due to favoritism.
Respect.
Yeah.
Respect.
What about Deathstroke?
But at least you can say that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So see, the thing is about Deathstroke, which some people still get kind of confused, is that he's not really a Batman villain. He's more of like a Nightwing kind of attached character because he came out as a Teen Titans villain in Judas Contract. He's heavily associated with Nightwing. Of course, he's close to the Bat family for that very reason, because he let his daughter get trained by Nightwing to be a hero rather than like him, even though it's kind of hard due to like Rose taking after her dad. But I don't know if they'll ever do a Deathstroke versus Batman fight properly since like the 80s, not even the 80s, like the 90s, since someone wrote that fight probably the best way it could have ended, and also the best way it could have went about.
Come on, where are you?
But I definitely would say that Deathstroke run-in rather than a Deathstroke battle against Batman would be more efficient than, let's say, a strict movie about those two fighting, because the one they had prior to changing the script to what it is now from Ben Affleck's Batman was kind of iffy, because they made Deathstroke seem a bit too whiny and a bit less, how you say,
Assassinating.
yeah, still assassinating, but he was more like, oh,
He was still
Batman makes this
assassinating, but
personal.
he didn't. I can't take him seriously in that script. Like, I look at that script and feel like he should be Taskmaster.
Yeah, he does give off Taskmaster kind of vibes in that script, because Deathstroke in the comics, he cracks jokes when necessary, but they're mostly like to throw his opponents off, or if not, literally like, because he doesn't take them seriously. But when he's like quiet in the comics and actually concentrating, that's when he's like at his most serious, or at least putting in effort. And even then, he highly respects Batman, but he just doesn't like him because of the way he operates, and by that, he doesn't like the fact that Batman has a no-kill rule, because he'd be doing so much more.
Yeah.
And that's how Deathstroke sees himself, really. He doesn't see himself as a bad guy. He sees himself as a person that's willing to do what is necessary that other people
No
won't.
matter the cost.
Right.
You pay it, we'll do it. He'll give a fuck. You pay him to be good, he'll do it.
He has a moral code, though, which is iffy, depending on the interpretation, but he will
I don't
only...
think he kills family members, right?
No, he doesn't kill kids. He doesn't
Right.
kill people who aren't trying to kill him or contracted to kill him. So he only kills people in those two, like, standards. And even if he is paid to do something, if it seems sketchy to him, he will turn it down, just for that, like, that reason alone.
He always thinks 4 moves ahead before doing the move. You know, he always gotta. I remember there was one. I don't know how he got to Deathstroke, but there was one story where he actually got signed for a job. I don't know if you know this, bro, but it was so flaky where he was so iffy about it, but he didn't want to do it. But it was paying so much, right? But he actually took into the case and actually looked into it more, and he found out that it was going to according of his rules, but he was still going to do it, but killed the person that assigned him the stuff, so he don't have to do it again. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember what comic it was, but he literally killed the person that paid him after he got paid, right? Because he was doing trafficking and shit, but he was stopping somebody that was trying to stop him from trafficking. But he didn't know
Right.
that. You know, he didn't know that because he was only getting paid to stop the person. But once he started realizing more, he was like, all right, well, both of these guys gotta go.
Grace is finishing his off.
And I'm gonna get my bread first.
Right.
Let's test him out.
No, I'm still up.
So while Deathstroke and Batman would make a good, like, either strategical battle or a good, quick, momentary fight, I don't think it would be one to go ahead and make a movie out of. Unlike Batman versus Bane, because Batman versus Bane is more of like a thing that'd be good for a movie's sake.
And you gotta do it right.
Yeah, none of this, oh, Bane is at the, like, helm, not at the helm, but he's like being told what to do versus him doing it himself and strategizing it.
Right.
So, which I hope they do take precedent with, because this is a perfect opportunity to use Bane in the Batman universe.
Check out the walkway.
I can't wait for them to bring Robin in. It's a perfect time to do so. Not right now, right? I still want him to start doing things slowly because he's still young. But you can just tell with the way that this is going, it doesn't have to match up to anything. Like, alright, let me make sure I get my words correctly because I am on stream. So, what I mean by this is like, it doesn't... I want to say the director gave them hope for this film, right? But I don't
Right.
think they took this film seriously like they did with Ben Affleck. I don't think they thought that people was going to be so approved on Robert, because they wasn't when they announced him, that they didn't really give him like, okay, don't do this, don't do that. They let Matt Reeves do exactly what he could do for his vision that's not with the DCEU. I feel like if anything is tied in with the DCEU, that's where everything is a problem. You know, I can even sit and say Joker is not 100% accurate, but although they said that they was doing their own thing, it turned out to be a great movie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's not anything dealing with the DCEU, that shit is fire.
What are we gonna do?
Batman is a prime example. I think it was probably one of the best Batman movies I ever seen. This has to be
Oh yeah.
ranked with the animated movies. This can't be ranked with nothing else, you know?
Oh yeah, nah. Live action is definitely not in the same category when compared to the recent Batman movie. This is like one of like the greats.
I haven't seen any problems from my understanding. Like, I think my only problem with Batman is how I know that the relationship with him and Alfred is gonna grow, right? But I hate how they was so rocky right now. I just felt like the respect should have been there more. Although he doesn't agree with everything Alfred says, but he also hears them. He was more defiant than anything. And
Right.
I don't think the times that I seen Bruce, even when he first started, I don't think he was ever defiant to Alfred. He always heard his opinions and always was very thoughtful, and he always sat on them, but doesn't mean he was always going to do what Alfred says. He doesn't talk back to Alfred, at least be like, well, look, Alfred, like, I just need to be left alone as well. I think he did say that one time when he was very upset about
Oh
it.
yeah, he's whatchamacallit, him and Alfred have butt heads a couple of times, but it was always like
It
Bruce's.
wasn't a defiant butthead. Like, he wasn't arrogant.
Oh no, because at least in New 52 he was, from my knowledge, and like before New 52, there were some moments they had, but it was mostly Bruce respecting Alfred, Alfred respecting Bruce,
Yeah.
understanding Bruce, Batman understanding Alfred, stuff like that. But if anything, I was worried they were gonna go the whole like the Waynes are corrupt and like, you know, the Batman Telltale spin on it, which was good for what the Telltale series was, but the Waynes of Batman's legacy being like thwarted and trashed, and like his own, how do I say this? like the Wayne's like reputation has already been trashed through like a lot of iterations already. So it's kind of like they can kind of chill on that. But yeah, I did like how they utilized Alfred like being a war veteran and knowing his own stuff to assist Bruce in these matters. Because while I do like Alfred being the butler, I do like Alfred also being like an old member of like the military to go ahead and have his fair share of battle scars and tactics as well, which he does teach Bruce apparently in this movie, or at least in this universe, like he did in New 52 to a degree.
That bomb is a prime example.
Man, I don't know. If that was me, if I saw packaging like that,
died.
Yeah,
I thought he died.
Yo,
that was I swear I was going to be pissed the rest of the movie. I thought he died. Cause I was, but see, stuff like that I love, man. Like, you could tell when a person is dead. I thought he died. Turn around, this nigga's in the hospital.
Freaking Bruce was sitting there like, I need to go ahead and get Alfred for me. It's like, I think what you're already asking about has already happened.
Yo, like,
it is that Bruce was an hour late.
Dead.
Yeah, I was like, yang, Alfred, my boy, gone, bro. And then I was like,
everybody thought he was dead. It was crazy how they played it, and I loved how they played it. It was amazing. It was amazing. I enjoyed that because, for damn sure, I'll keep it a buck with you. I was pissed the fuck off. I was like, ain't no way this nigga dead, bro. Ain't no way. And he's only fucking what? 20? What the fuck? What? I was in the movie theaters. People was laughing at me. I was like, no, they killed my boy. Like, and I just see him all cooped up. Like,
you see him all cocooned up in the hospital bed, just chilling.
Now I can't wait for him to get shot.
Man, nah, I'll wait for him to get his neck snapped by Bane like he was in the comics. For those that don't know,
at that point he has to die. But with the bullet, I don't think. When he gets shot, I would be like, yeah, he didn't die. He can take that bullet. Nah. He can survive a bomb. He survive a shot. Nah, that's neck snap. He ain't surviving that.
Nah, bro. But like when I initially saw him like turn the package around, I was like, bro, if I saw a package built like that, I wouldn't be picking it up like that in the first place. I would have been like poking at it with a stick from a distance.
For real.
But hey, homie knew he threw that mess away. It just blew up. I was like, dang, Alfred got a kill cam now. Gotta go ahead and see how he died for real. But they went to the hospital, bro. I was like, my boy's alright. He's alright. But speaking of other characters, after the whole scene of the investigation, we get introduced to the lovely Selina Kyle. Can't say the actress's name because she's under a lot of fire right now for reasons, but
man,
Catwoman.
Fuck that. I think that's stupid.
I don't know too much. I don't know too much about it, but all I know is that I immediately went to hear people love her one second to immediately calling her a freaking predator the next. I was like, alright, this is a bit. What did I miss? Because this is too much. But
this is stupid.
I think we went to the Iceberg Lounge after that. Well, no, we go to. No, I don't think we go to the Iceberg Lounge. We get there. Batman's trying to figure out who knows what. We see Cobblepot.
He's all yours, Joker.
Cobblepot's a lot taller.
Cobblepot.
He's a lot taller and more built than he should be, but we see him.
Oh God, he is. But I'll tell you right now, he played that bitch role great.
Bro, facts.
He damn sure played that role great. But he is tall.
Facts. Like the point where it was like, what was it? I want to say it was when we get to the club. Batman they open the door, and he's trying to get in, and they're like, "Who are you supposed to be?" I'm like, "You don't know," and they're like, "All right, close the door, open it back up." And it's like, "Yeah, get out of here! There's blood in that suit." And he's like, "Mine are yours," and it's like, "Oh." It's like, man. See, my thing is, I thought he was gonna pull like an Arkham Batman and bash their heads in and knock him out. No, he just like jabbed him a little bit and then like moved on.
I was like, well, but you know what? I loved it because he ain't too experienced. You know what I'm saying? If he started pulling all that shit, I'm like, damn, are you sure you can get through that?
Hey.
What else you been training on?
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
My boy Batman hit him in the throat, walked right in, started throwing hands, but the way he was throwing hands though, like the part where dude had the, whatchamacallit, he had the gun, Batman had the bat. The way Batman chucks this bat at dude has me like wheezing, because I'm like, bro, he overhead through that mess, and then the dude shot the gun, the bullets bounced off Batman. It's just like, bruh, it's jealous. A bit too thin for me, though. We just got open.
He was just fighting so dangerously. It was just like I was scared of this man. Like watching this, I want y'all to put respect on Robin's name right now on the screen. I don't give a damn. Alright, look. Y'all thought this man was gonna be anything. I said it. I said, look, this man got potential. Y'all see what this man did in Twilight? I did it. So I don't know what he did in Twilight, but I know he's gonna be a bat. Look, once a bat, always a bat. That's what I say. And he was more dangerous. He was more vicious. I was like, yo, this man. When I tell you, that man beat the crap out. Who the hell are you supposed to be? And then he started beating the crap out of everybody. Yo, when they try to jump this man in the club,
bruh,
somebody jumped on his back. He was yo, what the, yo.
It's the fact that even when getting beat, he rebounds and catches himself and continues to fight. I like that. And even then, after all that, he runs into Penguin. He realizes Penguin is selling some drugs. Sees Catwoman, picks up on her, goes to her apartment, essentially stalks her. And I found it funny, like after you get introduced to her, she's going on a robbery, and then as she's robbing Batman, the person who's all for justice and everything is like, you're really good at that. It's like, bro, stop her, what are you doing? You're watching a crime in progress, but of course, Selena Kyle is Batman's boo thing. We all know this. We all know. So he's gonna sit there and compliment her a little bit. So of course they get into a little scuffle.
Yep.
And then after that, you know, they get back to the place. The chick that Selena was protecting is gone. Set up an investigation. We move on to the next crime scene, right? Which my thing is, even though they went over like dude's body place, they didn't investigate his cars or anything until like Batman got there, which is funny.
Oh yeah, they sucked in an investigation. I just want to say, like, those cops did not investigate. They didn't even go to the backyard.
They really
They were
didn't.
supposed to search the premises. They just searched inside the house. I was like, yo, oh my, no wonder why so many crimes be happening. But it's Gotham.
True. Then they found the thumb. I like the dark humor though. It was like drive. He was like, what? Pulled out the thumb drive and there was a thumb attached to it. I was like, I don't know, this is supposed to be funny, but that was nice. It was a nice touch. No pun intended. But we go to find out. Oh, I did not mean to do that.
Yo, I'm trying to do a damn thing and ain't giving it to me. I'm just so pissed.
It wasn't the
I'm trying to hurry this match up because WrestleMania is on. I'm like, yo.
Man.
Man, when I tell you, when they found that letter strapped onto that man's chest, they kept finding so. What was the second letter? Matter of fact, I was telling Ed about this too, like how I felt like the letters, every single letter with the pictures, it represented something. it had to represent something. Like, I thought the second letter with the scientist, I thought that probably represented Hugo. I felt like every single letter had to represent a villain.
Now
Because there's no way
takes
that
you
they would just do that and it was just like that. You know what I'm saying? Everything has to mean something. I
Right.
can't remember who Ed said the first one. I think the third one he said poison and ivy. But I thought Hugo the first, like that was my first thought for the second letter because it was a scientist and the riddle, of course. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Hugo? That was my initial thought. I hope those could be talked about more, and those are just not like just a card shit.
I'm not sure. I can't even remember the cards for real. However, I do recall the I think because after this we get of course, Bruce comes back. He prepares for the funeral, if I'm not mistaken, after the whole debacle with Catwoman, and him talking about. Actually, no. Because I think he has her going to the club first with the contacts. Bro, when I tell you what is it? The senator, I think, or not the DA, bro. The DA was on some stuff, my guy. Homegirl went down there. Talking about some. I'm here to see so and so. Goes downstairs. Then all of a sudden, she looks at someone. Batman's like, no, look at him longer. I need to make IDs. Dude, homegirl looks at dude again. And then all of a sudden, dude gets up and she's like, oh, now he's coming over here. He's like, talk to him. Bro, I've never seen homies tone down bad in my life. Like, I've heard of down horrendous, but this dude is down.
That man needed to be loved that night.
Bro was on so much drugs.
Then he started snitching.
Right, and homie was literally like, bro, what, you can't be saying stuff like that. And he was like, bruh, like, no. There's a rat, and there's someone that, yada 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 yada. And then,
I was dying.
bro, when she touched his leg, dude rubbed his face, I was like, oh, this man is down bad.
Man, it's down bad, bro.
Dude. And then,
That
he
man
was
was
about to
sad as a
slip.
bitch.
He was about to slip up, and then she was like, she caught wind of the one chick that was talking about the Russian girl that was faking, and then she ends up following her, getting the information she needs, and we find out Carmine Falcone is in here. I forgot the dude's name that plays him, but like, one of my favorite actors, I think. And so with that, find out, I don't know if this is canon, but we'll discuss that later. But essentially, you know, Selena finds out, gets frustrated that Batman finds out she has a connection with Carmine Falcone, takes up the contacts, and then after that, I think we get to the funeral scene if I'm not mistaken, right?
He wasn't as mad when he found that out too.
Nah, I don't think he was mad. It was more so the fact that he was just shook. Like, Falcone is someone you have a tie to. Because I think he thought that they were an item for the moment.
Oh yeah, he was definitely jealous. But he played that jealousy role very great. Like, he didn't even show jealousy, but he was jealous.
I just like how when he was like feeling some type of way, dude was just like stone faced.
I love how they didn't expose he didn't expose his secret to her in this movie.
For real.
Now,
Which I
next
thought
time
he
she come
did
back,
for
I
a
don't
bit.
mind it. But the first movie, it should never be the first movie. I don't give a fuck.
No, that mess was funny. And then after that, of course, we move on to, I want to say it was the funeral scene. Or yeah, we'll just go ahead and say it's the funeral scene after that. So the part that was essentially played in the 2-minute video that was put on YouTube a little bit before the movie dropped. And of course everything is the way it is, you know, in the trailer, yada yada yada. But then we get the scene after the fact, which is the DA, after Selena Kyle like leaves the club that night. The DA is trying to holler at her, you know, try to get, you know, hey, you know, you can get right back to my place, you get in my car. And it's like, alright bro, nah, we straight. But you know, then I'm not even gonna call him Enigma, I'm just gonna call him Michael Myers, because dude be pulling up the most exquisite sneak ups for real. So
amazing.
So we get him sneaking up on dude, putting a collar on him. Then we get to the funeral scene, and with that, we come to find out that, you know, all right, this is for the Batman once again. And then after like a couple of hours, I believe we have, you know, Batman show up to help him. Batman starts realizing, all right, you know, your money was dirty. You need to go ahead, you know, tell the truth in order to survive. The dude starts, you know, explaining, confessing. But somehow, someway, we get to one question. Dude's like, no, if I expose that, he'll kill my family, my loved ones, yada yada yada. And it's like, bro, like, I'm gonna be real with you. Your life is on the line. And he's like, no, I gotta take this to the grave. And I'm like, bro, this dude is stupid.
You about to go to the grave for real.
Right, and so he doesn't say it, and this is one of my favorite parts of the film. Batman sits there and tanks a full-blown explosion point blank, and only gets knocked out. I'm like, yo, nah, this dude was built different.
Oh God. And for a nerd, for a creepy guy looking, he had the potential to do all that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look a certain way. That man looked like he could do all of that. That man creepy as hell. He's probably been doing that since high school.
He had to look for it. And then the next best part, I think you and I can agree, when he wakes up with the GCPD. And dude,
yo, when he punched Gordon.
No, alright, so leading up to that though, right? We get him wake up, he just gets up, tries to take off the mask, but he, you know, gets himself in a position where he gets him in a corner. And dude starts talking, like, I think it's the director or like the sheriff of the department. And so we get there, and man, when I tell you, like, when dude pulled on his bad ear to take the mask off or give him back, bruh, Batman disarmed dude so quick.
Yeah, like, what? That was disrespectful. Like, what? Why would you do that? Like, you already know the consequences. Like, everybody else here is standing in the corner, but you want to act it up.
Facts. And then after that, I couldn't take like the sheriff seriously though with his voice. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Jim Gordon was more of the sheriff than anybody else.
He's like, you're standing up for this guy, Jim? I can't imitate his voice, but he's like, you're standing up for this guy, Jim? I'm like, how could I take him seriously? Oh, come on, I had a combo though. Why am I getting...
He said, let me talk to him. Let me talk to him. He said, listen.
We need to get you out of here. We need to get you out of here. It's like, yo, this dude.
Yeah, sitting there like, oh, snap. We need to get you out of here. He said, now there's a back door. Okay, you're going to run to it. He said, but how we going to do that? We need to not get you in trouble. That's right.
He's like,
punch me in the face.
No, but the way he said it though, he's like, you're gonna punch me in the face.
Yeah, like he was looking at him like, what?
He's like,
I bet.
And then he looks out and he's like, who's the guy with the broken nose and the mustache? he says who it is, and he's like, I saw him at the Iceberg Lounge. He was like, what would he be doing at the Iceberg Lounge? And Batman just sitting there, he cocks back, punches dude in the jaw, takes off with that key. Bro, now, if you saw the scene prior to the movie, you're not gonna know what, like, why it happens. But of course, everyone's seeing it now. Dude, when I tell you, the memes for that were just hilarious. Because I'm sitting there like, okay, Batman and, you know, Gordon. Batman stiffs Gordon and starts running around. I'm like, dude. But it leads to one of the coolest scenes in the movie, too, because he starts gliding after that. And after he gets on the rooftop, instead of a actual cape, it's a wingsuit. And it's probably the coolest scene in the movie, but also the most unreal scene, because I ain't gonna hold you. Batman should have died right there. Like, flying off that building at that speed, hitting a bus on a bridge, and smacking a car in the concrete, and gets back up and limps away. Nah.
That was funny.
It was funny. It was funny for sure, but I was like, nah, if you talk about this is a grounded take on Batman, this is far from it, because this dude should have been dead.
I think the armor saves him.
Man, that's some of the best armor in existence.
I ain't gonna lie, when the glider glided up, the armor tucked up. Like,
Facts.
but him falling like that, people was like, why did he fall? I'm like, he just started. This is his first time fucking gliding. Like, have you seen this man glide in the entire movie?
This is like, his facial expression literally proves, like,
unlike somebody who just jumps in front of the train and just masters flight and just starts flying.
You know, it's not like it's a specific, you know, character or a vampire or anything. Someone who's actually, like, you know, associated with bats as well. Alright, bro, so you gotta excuse me because I'm at the Killer Croc portion of Arkham Asylum, and you already know how that part is.
Send me the schematics. It's like amazing.
So for y'all watching, I ain't scared, but y'all homie concerned for his life.
Are you sure about this?
Just a little bit.
Sounds like a suicide mission.
I've got no
Back
choice.
up just a little
I've
bit.
tuned the scanner to detect the spores required to make the antivenom. It'll lead me straight to
But yeah, after that scene, I'll be fine. Yeah. Now, but when I first played this game when I was younger, bro, my heart could not take it. I'm gonna be real with you.
when I'm done.
But back to the discussion about the film. Yeah, that armor is something else because it kept dude alive through a lot. And literally the next scene, he gets back up to speak with Gordon. And Gordon's
he had
like,
to use a cane right after that.
if only.
Yeah, like that man was that hurt. Like they was hurt.
And the thing is, Gordon is sitting there like, you could have pulled that punch, you know? And then Batman's like,
you could have pulled that punch.
And then of course Batman being exactly like the guy he is, I did. It's like, man, okay.
But I believe him. He did.
I ain't gonna argue with him.
I ain't gonna argue with that.
Look, he says he pulled the punch, you got it.
He said he did.
Look,
You seen how he looked at him? He was like, yeah, like,
he
yes,
was like,
he did,
you should have
bro.
pulled that punch. I did. Shoot, I ain't gonna fight you over it. You right. Anyway, and they discuss
That man jaw had to be rearranged for a second.
man, I probably would have been knocked out still. Whole time. But even then, after that, I think we get to the part where it's the car chase and they get an idea of like Cobblepot selling the drugs, talking about a rat.
My favorite scene.
And then we get to the point where he goes to the drug meet. And it's like, alright, bro. And so we get there. And now that we're there, you know, everyone's looking around. Batman sees Selina. Selina takes out the two twin guys. Oh. Sorry, Killer Croc's trying to go ahead and bite right now.
Oh, he's trying to give you a little bite.
Yeah, he's trying to go ahead and eat my leg a little bit, you know, get a little munch. But
He said go to corral or you can eat the legs.
I don't like how you said that and he's actually talking. Ooh, he's right there! Ooh! Ooh, okay. He ain't have to pop up like that though. Like I'm man, come on, bro. Killer Croc is being the most pettiest villain in this game right now. What? So it's this way then. Oh, it's right there. I was about to say, man, if you don't fall. But yeah, then it leads to like one of the most coolest scenes in the film, which is the Batmobile scene. And I ain't gonna hold you, like the design for it was questionable at first, but that startup, bro, when he got in that car and that engine was revving, bro.
These spores don't contain
Like,
enough
we already
of
knew Batman was just being cool for no reason when he got in that car and revved the engine. He didn't even like floor it yet. Like, let's not even be capping with that. But yeah, that's like probably the best scene in the entire, one of the best scenes in the entire film right there. Where is he at though? Where is he at though? Where is he at? Ooh!
Oh my god, this is the first match.
Oh man.
My god. Well, now that's a Killer Croc. I'm sorry. Crack myself up sometimes. I'm upset.
Why would Killer Croc do this to me? Come on now, bro.
Because you signed yourself up to
Man, nah, back up. Killer Croc playing too much right now. I'm out, bro. You can't be. Oh god. Killer Croc, I try to talk about a movie. You out here, bro. You doing the most right now in this one level of the game. How you pop up a... Man, Killer Croc is the Flash now. That's... Man, if you saw what just happened... Ooh. Goodness gracious. But the Batmobile scene we see in the trailer, Cobblepot talking about I got you, Batman jumps out that fire, runs him over like it's Arkham Knight, and essentially, unlike Arkham Knight, Cobblepot should be dead, but you know, yeah, it was a smooth scene. What are your thoughts on the Batmobile scene? Oh, I gotta... So, this, nope, not that way. But yeah, after that we get to the point where Batman and Gordon interrogate Cobblepot. And with that, they find out that Cobblepot isn't the rat. And after some process of elimination, we come to realize that it is someone within the Iceberg Lounge, only to find out that Selina Kyle gets into contact with Batman again. By the way, we find out what happened to our Russian friend. She ends up dying. Thanks to Mr. Falcone. And Falcone ends up being revealed to be Selina's dad. He is right there. He is right there. Why? Bro, you said I'll be fine. This character Croc is giving me a heart attack right now. Goodness gracious.
Wait, is there a bet tonight? Hold on, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm still here. I'm sorry. I'm just tripping. Yo, that car chase though.
Oh my god, stop popping up in front of me so close.
That's exactly how I sounded when I saw that car chase. Oh my god.
Man, that car chase was too good. But I think after that is the point where was the point where they end up going after Falcone next. But it led them to the Wayne orphanage that used to be Wayne Manor. And you find out that, of course, the Riddler has close connections to the Waynes because he was an orphan. And then that's when we get the famous scene, which we were talking about earlier, where Alfred ends up throwing a bomb. Because, you know, there's a war vet. He know what a bomb, you know, a ticker sounds like. And so with that, man, Killer Croc, I'm gonna need you to chill out, bro. But as the war veteran Alfred throws the bomb away, it blows up. Bruce is concerned and meets him. Well, he doesn't meet him in the hospital yet, because first he goes to Falcone to hear about what happened between his parents and if Falcone got them murdered or not. Which, come to find out, Falcone was very close to the Waynes. Someone was sleeping in a bed too close than they should, and it was out of the care of Thomas for his wife Martha that his wife not be disrespected within the medium, or the media, I should say. So he wanted the guy to get taken care of, but Carmine Falcone, being a mafia boss, snuffed him out. And you, mother bragger, please. Just, ooh. Promise you, bro. Terrible. Can I even finish talking about this film anymore with the way Killer Croc is treating me? Where are you at, bro? At this point, you're annoying me. That's not the one this good. But in essence of the reveal that Carmine helped get rid of someone that Thomas needed to get out of the way, Bruce is hurt, he feels lied to, he goes to Alfred. Alfred reassures him that he was under the care for his wife slash, of course, Thomas's wife, Bruce's mother. That the guy who was talking to the press be handled. So they established that Bruce forgives Alfred and is concerned that Alfred's safety is in jeopardy because of what happened. Nigga, what? Hold on, y'all. I just gotta. I think I got myself stuck in here, guys. I don't think I'm supposed to be right here. Well, this is awkward.
My wife loves you.
Okay, I think I'm heading the right way again. Man, Croc out here distracting me from X, Y, and fragging Z. Did I glitch a spark in the game? Dude, I glitched a spark. That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome though. Oh man, I'm gonna get back to the review in a second, y'all. Right now, Killer Croc is having me on my toes.
He beat him up. He rock bottom, stunner, tombstone, old school with a swanton bomb.
You're gonna appear right here. As I.
And a bottom boom.
Alright. I think this should be it.
if you definitely want to check Wolverine out and his
got
extreme
enough
content,
spores.
just subscribe to his
Need to get back to the
OnlyFans. He has some
Batcave,
good
formulate the
content there, some content that you would never
Oh, I
think of.
get
Ain't
it.
that right?
You've activated a sonar
What are
beacon
you
down
on
there.
right now?
Clever.
I'm talking about you and your content on OnlyFans. You forgot to tell him?
I'm getting out of here.
OnlyFans? I'm surprised myself.
He won't
I do
be a problem.
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Since
Come on, bro.
when?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Do what,
You
bro?
gonna do that? You gonna act
I'm
surprised like
mad
that, man? Act
confused.
surprised that he knew his father was a murderer. You gonna do that? You gonna do that?
I am mad confused. What the frack just happened? Oh, I'm dead. Killer Croc just boosted me out of the water. Wow, that was dirty, Killer Croc. Glitched me out on the platform and I had to glide forward.
Feasting on
I can't wait to do McIntyre use this sword on somebody and actually see blood.
How did he pronounce his B's if his teeth poke him in the mouth? You know what? I'm reading too much into it.
That man. That's how you supposed to say it. That man.
Man.
Do you think you can rap for me, that man? So, you think you're as smart as me? That man. You sound like you're saying fat. You're saying fat.
He's a runner, he's a track star. You know what, Killer Croc, this part is for...
My caves will be your tomb.
See you till Arkham Knight, buddy. But back to our regular schedule program, since Killer Croc had me on my toes and my heart beating at 190. Yeah. So essentially, after Batman or Bruce Wayne talks to Alfred and they repair the damage that their relationship had, Batman meets up with Gordon, but they realize that none of them put on the search signal or the bat signal, search signal. And with that, they find Selina Kyle with the cop with the broken nose and the mustache that Batman was talking about earlier, and interrogated him, finding out that Carmine killed the Russian girl, and Selina Kyle wants to go ahead and kill Carmine Falcone. So she dips off after trying to push dude off the building. Batman Simpson's like, I have to go stop her because I'm Batman. And then after that, the movie goes into overdrive essentially a little bit. Oh, hello there. I didn't run into you. Oh. You have a... How you miss with a gun that close? How am I that dumb to not see it?
She's definitely playing. I don't give a fuck about
How did he not? Okay. And I think this fight where Batman has to track down Selina Kyle is kind of reminiscent of, bro. Okay. Kind of sneak on the stream here. You out here? Matter of fact, no, you getting freaking knocked out right now.
Knock him out. I said knock you out. Mama said knock you out. Daddy, auntie, uncle, sister, brother, auntie said knock you out.
I can't jump a waterfall. That's gas. Major. But yeah, after we get the whole situation with, you know, Batman pulling up at the club, goes in there, cuts the power. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when we go there
I've got the
to
mold samples. I'm heading to the Batcave to
the
mix up
hallway
the antidote.
scene, which you briefly see in the trailer, and it's Batman taking people out like he does in the Arkham games, essentially. comes down from the top of the elevator, snuffs dude out, ends up sneaking up on everybody, taking him out in the midst of their Matt Reeves, I must say.
Scan and open.
And after that, Batman saves Selina because Selina was about to get choked the frag out, and tells her that killing Falcone isn't justice, and that it's not the best thing to do. You know, Batman, justice, killing against all odds. No, we shouldn't kill. Rehabilitation, the beautiful stuff.
How close are you to making the cure?
We should also
Endless.
state too that this
It's
is
been
where
more
he
difficult
started
than I
to
expected.
realize that, like, not really
The
start
process
to
is slow,
realize, but this
difficult,
is like the
and
first
doesn't
instance
produce
that,
much
okay,
antidote.
like, maybe the
And the
methods
good news?
of
The chemical will
this
definitely
ain't
stop
really the
Ivy.
way to go,
May also
you know?
reverse the Titan
Then later
transformation.
on, he gets
I
this
need to
big
run
picture,
some more
like, okay,
tests,
yeah,
sure.
this ain't really
I've
it.
set the
But
computer
this
to
is the
create
first,
more, but I
like,
need
the
to get out of
first,
here and find Ivy.
the first, like,
Thank God.
open
Her plans
minor
reached the Gotham River.
to how he needs to reevaluate, because when she says like, yo, this is, you know, this is, you know, this is,
Batman!
this is,
Bruce, are you alright?
it ain't revenge, it's justice, and he had to sit back, no,
I'm
this
fine.
is not how justice is, you know what I'm saying? But to think how, the type of aggression he's been playing, calling it justice, and when he sees it to another party, it's like, no, it can't be done this way, you know? That's that first open minor that he gets, like, nah, it has to be another way if you're gonna call it justice. Put that.
No, you good. You have a point too. Because after that, of course, Carmine is met with his fate as he gets shot, essentially. And as Carmine gets shot by the Riddler of all people, they find out where he is. Someone reports seeing him go down a fire escape. And with that, is there something supposed to be in there? And with that, they catch the Riddler, which of course Riddler is not the most physically imposing individual ever, so we already know that. But we get probably the funniest scene in the entire movie, is when Batman interrogates Riddler. And then every time Riddler says Bruce Wayne, Batman sits there and just shivers in his boots. You're sitting there just chilling, all you hear is Riddler say Bruce Wayne, and Batman's still like, he about to throw up. It's like, come on, Brody. Don't let him get you twisted like that. And then of course, they have a discussion. Batman realizes Riddler slips up because Riddler thinks that they're on the same side because Batman was helping him out, when in actuality Batman was trying to stop him. And it culminates one of the funniest scenes ever when Riddler is sitting there like, we did a great job, didn't we? He was like, Batman's like, you're a maniac. You're a fool. You deserve to be in here. You need help, essentially. And Riddler's like, what? Batman's like, you're a psychopath. And I was like, no. Oh, this is not how it's supposed to go.
The man started freaking the hell out, man.
Dude stood up out of his chair and proceeded to be like, no, and screaming. And then, of course, Riddler confessed a plan that Batman didn't figure out. And then Riddler's like, he didn't think about that? Oh, you're not as smart as you look. And then, of course, one of my other favorite parts is Batman sitting there asking, what have you done? Riddler just starts singing in this little opera tune. It's like, dude, this is like, bro, how you just gonna sit there and troll Batman like that? Like, nah, tell me what you know. Starts singing. It's like, man, alright. I would've. Man. What have you done?
Yo, he was going off in that stuff.
He really
Wow.
was. Like, you can't even deny
was-
it.
He was singing his heart out.
Homie was out
What
here
have you
spitting
done?
it.
What have you done? What have you done? Yo, it was
And then we get to the point where I think he goes back to Riddler's apartment. And of course, the GCPD doing the worst job ever. Didn't look through his files, didn't look through anything. Batman goes back, looks up the computer, finds the video with Riddler's live stream and his fans. My first thought was, hey yo, Riddler got peeps out here. He got ops, for real. People talking about, hey yo, the mask is good because it's getting cold, you know, don't forget the straps or the clips. And I'm like, bro, they out here prepping for some mighty preparations, for real.
It was ready.
Facts. And after that, Batman finds out that Riddler plans to go ahead and flood Gotham, essentially. And while at this point I think the movie could have ended, I didn't mind it because, of course, Batman, being a Batman fan, I could watch at least 8 hours of Batman, not made by Snyder, you know. But to more important things, after we get that, we go to the little area where they're hosting the mayor's victory
I've been running a simulation
rally,
of the damage
and then of
our
course,
squad will do if they reach
in the
Gotham.
midst of doing so,
Won't get that far.
you see a bunch of Riddlers at the top preparing to
I
like
hope you're right. And
shoot out the place. And bro, it was so funny because I'm sitting there like, oh, there's only one of them. Alright. Nah, there's a whole platoon of them. I've seen dudes coming out the woodwork with rifles, loading up ammo. I'm like, bro, this is some next level stuff. We get to the point where they start shooting people. They're like, how do I get up? Well, Gordon's like, how do I get up there to go ahead and apprehend like the people? But then, as we do that, one of the best visual scenes of the movie, along with the Batmobile scene, the top of the building blows up, so everything that's holding the glass and everything explodes. You see Batman pull like a Arkham Batman glide down, land, shoots these two guys in, like, I think it was the ankle with his grapple gun. The smoothest thing, he jumps off, falls back, spins around,
we've got
hooks
another
himself up, and drags him down and flings him.
Riddler, some kind of
Essentially, this is
giant robot.
Batman Arkham, or
Unfortunately,
the calming Batman we've been waiting for in terms of combat, because he's out here just getting rid of dudes
What's he doing now?
and just cleaning house. And of course, Catwoman's there watching all this happen. They all help Batman. Batman ends up getting snuffed out by a shotgun because homie, as good as that armor is at taking an explosion, an up-close shotgun blast nearly took him out.
Yeah,
But-
he was too much.
Right, and then the part that has all of us comic book nerds intrigued is that part of the movie where
Pull out that fucking shit.
yeah, Selena was getting choked the frag out
Yeah, she
for the
getting
second
choked out, and he
time.
pulled out that little
That little cartridge of adrenaline.
Yeah.
But comic fans who know a substance similar in nature to the characteristics of that
The
liquid,
Titan water seems to be corrosive, but it shouldn't trouble
we
the
all
suit.
sitting here
What
thinking
have we
it's not
found
just
out?
adrenaline, it's venom, which leads into Bane,
No,
which
but go ahead.
at least until Matt Reeves shoots it down, has me hyped, because Bane in that movie verse would be amazing.
Once it's full, it releases the water into the Gotham
So
River.
he pumps himself full of venom,
But
gets
this
a
time
rage
it's full of
induced
Titan.
boost, and
How do I
starts
stop
wailing on dude in the mask. I mean, like, you thought what he did in the beginning of the movie was bad. I'm talking about like just demolishing dude. Exactly, like dude's nose didn't stand a chance because when he took that mask off, that thing was contorted, and like dude was just gone. And so with that, and this is another pivotal point in Batman's character development, he sits there, and the dude asks him, "What are you, or what's going on?" Or essentially, like, what are you, essentially? And the dude's like, "I'm vengeance." And at that point, Batman turns around and has a little epiphany, but of course, he has to save some people due to like the giant Jumbotron
They're
that's
about
hanging.
to
Yeah,
Electrocute everybody in the water.
right. And so after he goes over there, cuts the cord, which is a very symbolic moment, because in the midst of it, he goes over there, cuts the cord, but at the same time, he falls into the water, essentially being baptized from the brute vengeance that we know to the hopeful, well, some people don't know this, but the hopeful Batman that, while inducing fear in criminals, will induce hope into the people of Gotham. And with that, we get the Batman at least leaning towards the Batman that we traditionally know in the comics, where he's not above, you know, helping people out, giving people money on the street if they're down on their luck, you know, putting hope in the people of Gotham to let them know that there's a watchful protector out there rather than a vengeful vigilante, to a degree, of course. And with that, we get our ending of the Batman. Well, a little bit. We have a little snippet ending where him and Selina Kyle talk, and they hint at Bloodhaven, which is, for any comic book fan that's out there watching this, we all know Bloodhaven is worse than Gotham, so why she's going up there is beyond me. But, you know, it is what it is, you know. Selina Kyle, a baddie, she can handle herself. Strong, independent woman. So, after all of that, the movie ends, and we get a beautiful soundtrack ending to a wonderful and probably the best Batman movie. So, final thoughts on the film as a whole. How are you feeling?
I think this was a masterpiece at its finest. And I wanna say that just like how Joe Budden called Kanye West Donda a masterpiece, not a masterpiece as this is the greatest thing of all time, but for this type of content and for how he did it, Matt Reeves did it in his way, and how every character played it, it was a masterpiece for them. This is something that they will go on and talk about for years. How they changed the game for Batman. And they did. Robert is about to look past his career where he was doing mad other things other than Twilight. But nobody knew this guy other than Edward. Now you know this man as one of the top DC heroes in history.
Facts.
You gotta appreciate growth, and you gotta respect the respect that's there, you know. That's why I call it a masterpiece. Now, as a movie as a whole, I think it was probably one of the greatest Batman films I ever seen. And I seen a lot, and I didn't like a lot. So it took me a while to get you know, to be a Batman fan. It took me to Telltales to make me be like, yo, let me look into Batman more. Do you know how long that is?
That was a while.
That's a long ass time. And to take that game to make me excel more into the comics and actually ask questions and actually get into debates like we do and actually talk about it to learn more, you know what I'm saying? It makes me more of a fan. You know what I'm saying? And when you look past in the movies, you see the things that they lack and the things that they could do. It's like, why can't they do it? That's why I really don't like Dark Knight. Everybody loves Dark Knight. I don't see why. But you put Dark Knight to the Batman, I'm picking this. I don't know what you guys are going to pick. Some people are going to pick Dark Knight. I'm picking this. If you know Batman, if you're a true fan of Batman, if you want to know the detective side of Batman and where he's at fault, learning, starting over fresh, have mistakes, see the love that he can get but has to let go because he has to do it for his city. The character growth in one movie but still has to learn, still has to learn within himself. Y'all can't tell me that's not a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I'm saying is such is what we as fans, as comic fans, wish for in a comic movie. We wish for this. Whether everything is not 100% accurate, if your story is great, whether we could get some references, and it's very well written, the actors are well casted, you got your effects, of course, because you got money.
Big facts.
You tie all that in, you get a great fucking movie. Joker became what it was, and it took heights, and it might do a 2 because it was a great ass movie, because it was well written, it had a person who looked like the guy, and of course they had money. But the fact of the matter remains, it was well written. With some references, you could be like, yeah, I can see that Joker. As long as they say, this is what it is. They said beforehand, we are going to get the most detective Batman you have ever seen. And he still is not going to really, involve until you're going to see him evolve as more. What did we get? Exactly that. 9 out of 10 for me. I don't rate movies 10 out of 10 because the day I rate a 10 out of 10 movie is the day I would never go back to the movie theater. Because there's always an issue. You know what I'm saying? Even if we don't see it right now, there's always an issue that we can have.
According to the plans I have on file,
Like my one issue, that
control
cutscene.
rooms. The first is directly above you.
We're going to talk about it
I'll
after
shut
you
them
give
all
your
down.
final thoughts.
What will happen if
Yeah,
this
for
Titan
sure,
stuff
for
reaches
sure.
Gotham?
But that's
It
one
won't
issue.
reach Gotham.
You know? Great that it was cut. But overall, I love the movie. I can't wait for the second one. I don't think they should do the Joker right now. I think they should keep doing more of the villains that a lot of people probably don't know or a lot of people don't give a fuck about and make them phenomenal to where we start putting more respect on these motherfucking names. Riddle was one. I would like to see a Two-Face, but I want to see Harvey Dent first, then in the third or fourth movie, then Two-Face.
Right.
I want to see either Bane, or I want to see a Clayface, or I want to see Mr. Fucking Face. Or I want to see Hugo. Since we're talking about Arkham Asylum, let's go with Hugo then. Let's do it. Or better yet, Scarecrow. I'll stop there. And scene.
Yeah, all of those villains are really good choices, to be honest. And like you said with the film, in terms of it being a Batman film, it's definitely, in terms of live action, the best, in my honest opinion. As someone who is an avid comic book reader, like my friend here, and who enjoys them for what they are, while they can be compelled to like, oh, it's just kid stuff, even though they delve into very heavy adult themes and topics, it's very rewarding to get a movie like this where its baseline or what its template is like a detective noir like this movie, or like with Logan, it was a Western film, but it had your favorite comic book character over that template. So it's a movie, it's a comic book movie, but at the end of the day, it's also a template of an archetype that has been done but has a spin to it because this character doesn't exist in realism. Then of course, most movies tend to like escape that factor, but it's the fact that while Batman being a very pivotal character in like media and just fiction in general, it's rewarding to get an accurate adaptation, because after years of getting, Michael Keaton was definitely the first to revolutionize his role as a character. Then you had your others there, George Clooney not being the most rewarding version, and then you have Ben Affleck, which was a controversial take. Some people like it, some people don't. I'm in the camp that take was dumb, but of course I liked what they did with the character at that aspect for making it different, just not my Batman. But with this movie, I can definitely say that Robert Pattinson in live action is my Batman, or a Batman that I would compare very closely to the comics in terms of realism or silver screen showings, if you will. And so with that, I give this movie a 9 out of 10 as well. Because I don't give any movie that's a perfect movie would literally end the reasoning for and I just died. But any movie that has like a 10 out of 10 at that point, what's the point of seeing any other movie after that? Because if it's a 10 out of 10, it's the perfect movie. And I don't think the perfect movie can exist, but a great movie that continues to push the envelope can very well continue to exist. Like, because at first, for the longest time, since 2018, I want to say, Avengers Infinity War was that movie. Because of how it was. Oh, he's going to see me in a second. That sucks. Not, but Avengers Infinity War was like that movie for a little bit because of the reason of... Damn, I am not good at this in Arkham Asylum at all. Arkham Knight, I can go ahead and do stealth like it's no problem, but Arkham Asylum, with the way it works, is not as fluid. But yeah, Batman, the Batman, 10 out of 10, soundtrack 9 out of 10. I said 10 out of 10. Movie 9 out of 10, soundtrack 9 out of 10. Batman representation 9 out of 10. Some plots of the movie could have been handled better, or like just ended early. Like Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, her part with like her finding her friend was a bit dragged out. Then the Carmine Falcone bit was a little too much, but then again, it's Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, so it's a pass. Everyone had an honestly good job fulfilling their portion of their roles. Like, even though the Batman is literally about one of my favorite characters, Batman, the initial fact that he wasn't the main like star of the movie for me is pretty good, because that means everyone did their job at supporting the movie. So yeah, 9 out of 10 movie, and can't wait to see the next one.
Get over here, everyone, on me!
Oh, Riddler, I definitely, well, I don't even want to call him Riddler, because he was not Riddler at all.
He was a Zodiac Riddler, or the Riddler act, the Riddle act.
Let's just call him the Riddle.
The serial Riddle.
The man that riddle a lot. He was
you had it. The man that riddles. That's his name.
Yeah, the man that riddles. He was absolutely. It was like I give him a 10 out of 10 for that character, and I think when he actually becomes Riddle, because that's what you guys actually see in the end. He was becoming Riddle. When we finally got to see who he looked like, that's Riddler. 10 out of 10. The look, great. Every character, I think Selena will grow.
Oh yeah.
I definitely give her a good 8, if 7, if I was really deep into this, right? But I give her an 8 because the chemistry was great. And if the chemistry wasn't great, she would have got that 6. But I heard they already had sex, so I'm fine. You know, I'm great. Hey, he clapped cheeks. Chemistry is perfect.
I didn't even know they did that for real. I just thought they knew.
Some type of rumor that they had sex on a fucking Batmobile.
What?
Yeah, it was all
bro,
set.
How did she not know who he is then at that point? Like, what?
Hey, look, yo, don't kill the messenger.
Nah.
But they was getting it. They was...
Bro, at that point, it's like the comics where it was like they just kept the mask on at that point.
They saw that shit where they said that Batman and Selena Kyle eating the box wasn't
Hey, nah, heroes don't do that, bro. Heroes don't do that. Heroes don't do that, bro. Remember?
Robert, what are you doing? Oh my God, Zoe! Oh my God, get
That's
them out
not
of here, please.
catnip. Get out of there. Get out of
Oh
there.
my God, delay the movie
How
against the COVID.
how
please.
dare
Oh
you?
my God.
Please say it's COVID because we can't show this
We
in the
all
film.
need to respect.
Man down.
We
This
do
is-
not need another Tom Holland and Zendaya. You will not do this. No.
No, not whatsoever, man. But nah, great movie, great cast. Can't wait for the second one.
I want to stress my issue about that cutscene.
Oh yeah, so now that we gave our rating and thoughts and spoilers, the Joker cutscene that was released after the movie, but is 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
How we feel about that? Sir?
I like this scene. It was a great scene. I
Mhm.
think the Joker was great, but I found no point of that scene. How does the Joker know so much? Not even that. It's like, how can he get all this type of information? He can, but it's like, in one type of sense, it's like, okay, they made it seem they already countered. You know what I'm saying? It's like, with that type of sense, how did that happen? If this man is already developing to be the hope of Gotham, wouldn't he already be hope already as fighting Joker? The man would have some type of things. He would not be as vengeful and aggressive like that. He would already mastered control, mastered focus point, and the only thing he would have to really obsess over is whether should he kill or not. But he never does. You know what I'm saying? After a while, Batman is Batman. That was my other issue with Dark Knight. It felt like this Batman was so experienced, but once again, he wasn't experienced. He was experienced, like he learned a lot, yes. They show Batman Begins as him training a lot.
Right.
He didn't really do none of this Batman shit before. All he been doing was fighting thugs. So how does he has all this capability to really do all this? They didn't show him evolving. So if you want to say to me that he knows Joker, alright, then that means he should already be able to solve some of the puzzles that he's been getting in this riddle in the movie. He should already be a detective Batman. Because he has to detect Joker. Am I wrong? Am I correct? It's like certain things will be rushed. It's like certain parts of him you're just missing. And it's like, I'm so glad they cut that out. Because then it's like it's to me, alright, how does Joker get put in there? If you want to say Batman put him in there, then that means Batman beat him. If Joker is supposed to be his top-notch, biggest villain that he has a problem with due to his killing code, then he should already be mastering his anger with everybody else. Riddler should not be a problem. That's just how I look at it. Riddler should not be a problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what? I don't even think he would be saying he's vengeance if he's been... I feel like he would say more of the animated slogan, the first slogan. You know what I'm saying? If he was fighting Joker. So I think it would just been rushed. And then he's stealing paper clips, you know he's gonna get out. That
My
would've been
thing
way
is
rushed.
like, wow, they showed the scene, which I need more on this Joker before I sit here and give my like thoughts on it, because I don't really think too highly of it yet, but I'm looking forward to what it can do. However, in terms of like potential plot points, I think it was a mistake probably having Joker be like him already fighting Joker before he was Joker. Because at that point then, because their first encounter of course for many is like the killing joke, and at that point it's like, alright, well, we have this, but at the same time, now that we pretty much know that they fought before, what, like, we kind of takes away from like the actual first meetup, if that makes sense. Because it's like, alright, well, if you fought already, if you met each other already, then essentially something like the killing joke can't really happen. You can make something of it, like its own thing, but at the same time, they got to be careful of trying to like rehash it because of Heath Ledger and what they did with him.
And he's not Joker. I just want to let everybody know he is not Joker.
No, this is like pre-Joker.
Yeah, this is John Doe.
Yeah.
And I love the scene that they gave us with him and Riddler because we don't know anything about this guy at all. Like, we know this is Joker, of course. If you're a fan, you know this is Joker. But they don't say he's Joker. They don't say his name. There's no interactions with him and Batman at all.
Great. Only two
That
more
man
left.
is John Doe, and we got to figure out who the hell is he, where he come from, and we're never going to figure that out. But he's starting to involve in a relationship that I think him and the relationship Riddler and Oswald would have had. I don't think that's going to happen with him and Joker, and it's going to be more psychotic because both of them is a little bit psychotic in a way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be way better. The decisions that Matt Reeves did for this film, absolutely great. I love the decision. I have trust that he can make a great movie. Second, I'm not
Especially
scared.
after his Planet of the Apes movie, I'm pretty confident that he can go ahead and make a second film and follow up after a nice one that he just did here.
Do not listen to me. I
So yeah, those are our thoughts on Le Batman. It is a wonderful film. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. If you haven't been able to, because I think they took it out of Regal Cinemas this past week, because the last night of viewing it was, I want to say, a few days ago. It will be on HBO Max on April 18th. You can go catch it there, while I will burn the frag out of the streaming servers because I'll be watching it so much.
It's coming out on the streaming service on April 14th, right? April
18th.
18th? Okay.
Yeah.
It was 1 and 4 days ago. I'm watching it again.
Oh, without a doubt, I'm watching that again too. Like
Watch when
that
it hit.
movie.
I don't think it's hitting midnight. I think it's gonna hit on 3 o'clock in the morning.
Nah, it might be, probably like early morning.
Yeah, because they always want to do midnight for the central.
Right.
Oh! We are
What?
also brought to you by, you forgot to tell them the sponsor. We brought to you by WrestleMania, you know what I'm saying? We just ain't getting paid for it.
That is true. That is true. You want to go ahead and mention the sponsor then? You was already in the middle of it.
He actually is doing great. I actually think
Wait, he's actually like in there fighting?
yeah, he's wrestling with The Miz against
Of course it's the
Mysterio and his
Miz.
son.
Of course the
And they won at
Miz.
WrestleMania. And they just won. That's it.
No, not like Logan Paul and the Miz.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna hear
And
any of this.
I'm gonna send you his attire too in your Instagram. That his attire is fire. I ain't gonna lie. It's a
Bro.
fire attire. I ain't gonna cap you.
Bro, that's
I just sent it.
oh,
That
that's
attire is fire.
crazy.
Spicy. Look like Logan Paul busted his lip. Logan Paul out here boxing, YouTubing, and being a WWE superstar. I done seen it all, man.
Oh,
Then
I
they
can
supposed to
respect
have
him.
Knoxville fighting. Oh my god.
I can respect him. It just shows that no matter what you are or what you can do a lot.
That's the second pump shot.
Just one more
Hey,
to
for
go.
Dr. Strange, it's
We got-
smart to get tickets when
They
they
got the
open
dude from
it.
Jackass fighting too, Knoxville.
I'm weak, not him.
Him and Sami Zayn, anything goes. Somebody gonna do a table. I know it. I bet it. It better happen. I bet money for it. It better happen.
That's pump 3 disabled.
Speaking of this money, hold on. Let me go back to see what I just lost. Because I forgot. This ain't right. I know I lost some money.
Yeah, for Doctor Strange, it is probably wise to go ahead and get the tickets at, well, whenever they release. I don't know if they're releasing right at midnight, but definitely will be something to
I'll tell
work.
y'all right now. Doctor Strange about to be fire. It's about to be the greatest movie of the summer.
Man, it is being
and
directed by the GOAT Sam Raimi, bro. Sam Raimi.
If Sam Raimi demolishes the theater box office, they're definitely making a Spider-Man 4. There's no doubt.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna be in superhero films. He's already showed interest in making a Batman movie.
He better die. I'm sorry. I'm not jocking him no more. He better die. I'm not with y'all. Look, alright, I don't care. Y'all might love this guy. I love him too. I respect him. But he's 40! The man's 46! He gotta put it up. Y'all keep calling for the Undertaker. Y'all done made this man broke his hip, broke his neck, whatever else he broke, and he was 50. Hang it up. He should have died in No Way Home. I'm still stamping that. My bad. Different movie.
Bruh.
That night should have been the end for that man.
Nah, it's Spooderman, bro.
I respect him, but he gotta go.
Nah, I don't know if the website will crash.
Been working there for too long.
He's supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness.
Who?
Toby.
Oh yes, I'm hearing that. Yeah, he's supposed to be. I don't think I want to say.
Nah, I mean it's not really it's like a spoiler since it's not really like, you know, the movie isn't out. Yeah, but it's like
he's supposed to be saving Strange.
he's supposed to be fighting Wanda as well, which is kind of funny.
I hope they fix that. I just thought like he was supposed to get a web cameo and swing him out. I'm good.
Yeah, but apparently he's supposed to be fighting Wanda. I'm like, bro, Toby fighting
Maybe
Wanda?
Andrew might come.
No, I don't think they mentioned him, but they might.
I was actually fighting old enemies with myself. Yeah, we heard that. You're the wizard. I can definitely hear these skits now, man.
But, hopefully the website doesn't crash, so the ticket purchases won't be problematic, which I don't think they will, but it depends on the hype for the film. I haven't seen a lot of hype for it. Like, there will be hype, but I haven't seen like No Way Home hype, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I have to go ahead and see.
I'm standing for No Way Home as the greatest fucking Spider-Man movie of all time.
I agree. I
I
definitely.
need it. I'm so. If it didn't beat Spider-Man 2, nothing was gonna beat it. I'm just standing for it.
Honestly, the first Doctor Strange movie, it's okay. I don't think you're missing too much, to be honest.
Yeah, yo, me and Emin dead sat in Walmart and watched the entire movie.
Bruh.
It was great. Like, we literally sat on the floor, stood up, and watched the entire movie. And we looked at the time like, yo, we've been in this store for like hours, bro. We was just watching the movie. The lady asked us if we was good. Yeah. They asked us if we needed chairs. Now we good on the floor. You know they wasn't giving me chairs.
Nah, she was just being generous for real.
Yeah, she was just being a joke. Dead sat on the floor and watched that movie.
Yeah, I've avoided in Walmart before, just like straight spending hours in there and not doing anything with friends. So I mean, they pretty chill if you're not bothering them.
I'm gonna let y'all know right now. The power of
Yo. Oh, he did Yo Batman. He did Batman. Yeah, I say Yo Batman. Look, man, I got so much in my head. I just want to be very guy. I feel with anger. But I'm appreciative of being on the street and honored to be on the street. Talk about something positive and we just choose better.
Likewise.
You know, I learn a lot every day.
I ain't leaving niggas.
But you know, you just got the muscles that do make you want to be going out the door. I'll let you
Man,
know.
okay.
Blue Beetle built self. Get out of here.
Blue Beetle, oh nah. I got compared to Luke Cage. Then I got
Oh my
compared
God.
to Batman, Arkham Batman. Then I got compared to freaking Blue Beetle. Man, what's next at this point? Oh yeah. I'm gonna beat this boss. Oh. Go over there, Batman. There we go. DD, that's not a DDT, but that's something similar. But alright,
Morbius is not a
folks.
bad movie.
Oh,
It's
man.
trash.
You can take it away.
Nah, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave. It's just Morbius isn't a bad movie.
Yeah, I got that idea for Super Hot Fire. He just dropped a video, I think, with Blueface. And he was like, yo, I bounced the ball and I shoot it. And I missed.
Oh,
They was all like, oh,
man.
he missed it. Air ball. He was like, psych, I switched it.
Wow. Wow.
They was like, oh, made that. He made it. Yo, I was weak in tears.
An absolute
Gotta love
menace.
Super Hot Fire, man.
That's absolute menace.
Y'all check out some real rap, man. We ain't got no real rap. I'm a real music artist. I love to make music. You want to vibe, have a good time. Check out the real DCDR platforms. Get some butter up. You know what I'm saying? We trying to do some more. We got a Heartbreak album coming soon. About to put, we about to put your boy on. You know what I'm saying? I was about to be singing on the intro. If you can.
Hey, whoa,
Sing it,
don't
sing
give
it.
him, don't
Sing
give
it,
him too
my
much,
boys.
bro.
Tell it.
Don't give him too much now.
Just
Hey.
I was like, oh, we really gotta work on a song.
For sure.
Like, I did want to actually just chill out, just find a beat, and we actually just sing that shit. We just find a song.
Hey, I'm down.
That's a bet.
I'm down.
Teach
Just
me
let me
something.
know when. But alright, lovely people. I pray you all have a great and wonderful night. Appreciate you, bro, for joining the live and talking about this with me. It's always an honor.
Of course.
We will be back for more comic book and DC related conversations. I'll be streaming the rest of the Batman series going forward, probably on select days, but generally we'll be holding more streams on the weekend, so stay in touch for those. But until then, you all stay safe and stay swole out there.
Yeah.